living for myself, trying to prove my existence. I wouldn't listen to nobody else. But then time caught up with my plans. And when the day broke, it exposed me for the fool that I really am. But you said, let me lead you, let me take you by the hand, yeah. So I can feed you from a good and precious land. All my eyes have seen, you're all I need, you're all I need, yeah. So now I'm learning to walk in your steps, and through the valley of confusion I've been losing my apprehension with death. But you said, let me lead you, let me take you by the hand, so I can feed you from a good and precious land. Now I owe it all to you, giving my heart to you, freedom becoming true. Nobody else like you, do what you promised to, and I'm so grateful for your love. And all my eyes have seen the wonders of your mystery received. I've tasted what it means. Now nothing else is good enough for me. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need. Oh, I need you. Yeah, I need you. Oh, I need you now. Now I owe it all to you, giving my heart to you, freedom becoming true. Nobody else like you, do what you promised to, and I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for your love. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I need you in my life.
Yo, what's up, everybody? We are live in the building here on a Tuesday night, and we're going to get into some stuff. We're going to have Jake calling in later to join in with the conversation. But in the meantime, we thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button and sharing this video with your friends as you come in, because, you know, the algorithm hates us, but we know you love us. So let's get in here. And in the meantime, you are watching Young Lion TV. Let's go.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and start fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding. Young lion.
Yeah. That's right. Young Lion TV, we are live. That's what we do every Tuesday. You are tuned in, and we appreciate you, and we thank you for being here with us as we do it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see Uncle Denny in there. I see Mom saying hi to everybody. Shout out to my mom, and big condolences to my family, my mom, my uncles, my aunts. We lost our grandmother over the last couple of days, and my mom has, if you've been following us for a while, she's been gone. She's been out there in Florida, helping to take care of her in her last days, and it's been a rough road. So we'll be excited to have her back here with us. I know she misses everybody here. We miss her extremely, and condolences to the family. Rest in peace to our abuela, and they're going to be shipping her back up to New York, where she will be laid to rest with next to her son, and I think her mother as well. So but yeah, thank you, Mom. We love you. We look forward to seeing you back here soon. But in the meantime, I got with me the coolest Asian. He's here with me. He's in the building. He's in the Lion's Den. And he's holding it down this evening. He is Mr. Simone Chang with me.
I'm never going to believe that. He always says that, but I don't believe him.
Bro, you've always been the coolest Asian. Even in high school, like, every other Asian in high school was nerdy except you. I couldn't, like, I don't think you were the first cool Asian I ever met. Like, even, like, in elementary school, most of my Asian friends, like, I remember my first Asian friend was this little boy named Howard Tat. And he wore glasses. He had the quintessential Chinese bowl haircut. You know what I'm saying? Like the one that AR had. But that was my boy. We were both in the same like math and reading groups because he was smart. And I just remember being fascinated with the fact that he could not say L's. And I used to make him say words with L's all the time.
Oh, so you start that's I don't know if we ever told that story about how we were teenagers, Jamie going to the 7-Eleven and making the Indian guy that worked behind there say, see, in 7-Eleven they had different type of hot dogs, and one in particular,
They still do.
They still have it? It's called Bahama Mama.
Yeah.
And we were dumb little kids going
teenagers.
And he would make him say Bahama Mama, and he couldn't say Bahama Mama for the life of him. He would say Bahamadi Mamadi. And then Jamie's like, what is that again? Behamina Memina. Say that again. Behamina Memina.
And it's funny because, when you're young and you're dumb kids and you think the stupidest things are funny, as soon as we walk in the 7-Eleven, and if he was working, it was like they knew I was going to do it. And because it was a specific guy in there that, like, his English was the worst out of all of them. So when I would walk over to the hot dog little thing, the rollers, how they roll them up on there, and I'll walk over there and I'd look around like I'm interested in a hot dog. And then he'll walk over and he stands there waiting for you to tell him which one he wants. And I'm like, oh yeah, that one looks good right there. What's that one called? And he tries to say, and he couldn't say it. And I'm like, what is it? But yeah, that was just our dumb
Jamie
kids.
has always been that guy that always messed with people.
Yeah, I don't know. I just always like joking around.
Are selling CDs days. The lady that worked at the Chinese.
Oh, this is another like this is another thing that we've lost in culture as well, because that's something that you don't see anymore. Like when we go to the mall, where's the try a sample people at?
Yeah.
Remember the ladies that they used to yell at you? Like, Lease, you don't know nothing about that, do you? When you're in the mall? For years, this was like a phenomenon. Because every mall has that bourbon chicken spot, or that like that Asian, where you could get a whole pile of food for I don't know how much now, but back then it was
used to
like
be like $5.
Yeah,
like
$5-6. You get a whole pile of food that you could never
Yeah.
finish. So they would be out there with the little cups with the little
Yep.
toothpicks with the bourbon chicken,
Yep.
like try sample. Try some, you try sample. And they wouldn't let you go buy them.
It was one that was like she was on it every time. She would force people to try a sample.
Yeah.
Try sample, and her voice would carry. You
It
would
would-
hear her from
Oh my
across
God.
the mall.
She would pierce through the entire mall noise. You could hear her from all the way down the mall because we used to be in the mall selling our CDs, and she would be in there. You could hear her in the background just.
tell her what when we do eat there. Tell them what.
So I just find accents funny and hilarious. So, and when people can't pronounce them, so one day we were in the Cheerio Mall and we were taking a break from selling our CDs, and we go over to the try sample lady, and we're like, all right, we're gonna get some of this. It's cheap, and we get full on it. And she goes, one platter. You get rice or slulo? You have rice or slulo? And I said, slulo? What is that? And then she took the little scooper and she like picked up the noodles, the lo mein. Shlulos. And I said, oh, shlulo. Okay. I just thought that was hilarious. But Mo never lets me forget that story.
So funny.
Because, what were we, 22, 23?
Yeah.
He never lets me forget that story because I just thought that was so funny. Like, she could not say noodles to save her life. But yeah, what she needed. It's funny because we're talking about that. We're talking about the Indian guy not being able to say Bahama Mama. I just saw this video not too long ago about this AI company that's launching this tool that will eliminate your accent. So like, especially for like call services.
Wow.
So it can make you sound like American. It's called Crisp. Hold on. Let's can you pull this up for me, Lise, please? Oh, before we get there though, I got to introduce my daughter because she's holding it down again. I told her she got one more week to hold it down. Unless my mom needs a break and she don't feel like doing it next week, then you have to. But you're holding it down this week. We appreciate you. My daughter is here holding down the production, Miss Elise Evans. Her camera's not on. Sorry. Okay, well, you're there. We love you. But yeah, can you pull it?
Mom said, that's wrong, Jamie.
What's wrong?
You making fun of people.
Oh, it's all in fun. I love everybody. I love everybody. But you can't.
And that's the thing. Like,
you can't act like it's not funny though. Like,
yeah.
Like we can't just lie about how these certain things and quirks that people have are not funny. Like it's okay for it to be humorous, but as long as you don't hate someone for it or like you don't look down upon them. Like
that's another thing with culture where it's like they try to cancel comedians or they try to cancel comedy.
Yeah.
I think it's funny laughing at, what Asians. I laugh at what Asians do.
This is I will actually make a point to this because we just posted a video on our Instagram that just hit 1 million views, by the way, of a story about Taco Bell in Miami in a town called Hialeah, which is, if you know about South Florida, that town is like completely Spanish. And so I find it like admirable that people like the Indians and the Chinese that come over here and open up these businesses and learn another language, even if it's not, even if it's with an accent, you still know what they're saying. They're able to sell to you.
Yeah.
This story of this Taco Bell was this customer trying to go there, and you're talking about an American franchise, trying to go there and order food, and they told her, we can't take your order because we don't speak English. Like, basically told her, like, you got to move.
Yeah.
There's other cars. Yeah. This is Hialeah. You can't come here and expect to speak English. Like, that's crazy.
That's crazy. When numbers universal.
Yeah, exactly.
You can say 6.
Not only that, you should at least be trained and speak enough English to know the menu.
If you're working a drive-through.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. It's crazy. I can't believe that story. I really can't.
Me either.
I want to know what happened. Like, did they?
She got fired.
What about the lady though that was in the drive-through, the black lady.
Oh, she probably tried to sue them or
probably
something,
got
you
money.
know. But she might have got a settlement out of court, but it probably wasn't for a lot. You know, she probably tried to, emotional distress. I can't.
Yeah.
I can never eat Taco Bell again. They made me feel like, But yeah, she probably got some kind of settlement. But Lisa, were you able to pull it up? I don't know if the desktop presenter is working. That's why okay, cool. So check this out, dude.
And I'm a call center agent from India. Clear communication is vital for my customers and me, but accent barriers can sometimes make it challenging. That's where crisp accent conversion comes in. Let me show you the voice preservation mode in action. This mode keeps my original voice intact while softening challenging parts of my accent. It helps customers understand me better, improving satisfaction on both sides of the call.
Dude, isn't that crazy?
Yo, that is crazy.
Like, the crazy part to me is, like, you can still tell that he's Indian, but he sounds more American.
Yeah, he sounds. Yeah, you can still hear it a little bit, but
Yeah, he sounds more American.
I can't believe that.
Bro, they're developing this technology.
Wow.
Yeah.
First of all, when I saw him on the screen, I was like, he looks like a black guy until he talked. Like I could tell he's a nerdy black guy.
Looks like a nerdy black guy trying to sell us on this crisp AI. And then he says, who's the one thing? Who's one thing to sell? When I'm doing my customer. And look, another.
Uncle Diddy said, "You all are making my smiling muscles hurt."
But that's another prime example. The who's vaunting, right?
Yeah.
We always make that joke because that comes from a Tommy Davidson bit from back in like the 90s, where he talks about the Indian manager who don't take no mess from the Karens that come in trying to talk. I want to speak to the manager. Who's vaunting? Who's vaunting to talk to me? And it's hilarious. It's hilarious. But I mean, look at the Apu character that became so beloved on The Simpsons is because of the accent, and it was a white guy doing the accent, and they tried to
cancel it.
Yeah, but I have a
Akash put that in his stand up.
His stand up special. Yeah,
he was like, "Don't do that."
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's like, they always do that.
Yep.
And it reminds me of the whole like Redskins thing.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to bring that back. It's, not the people that are of the culture that are, mad about it.
Yeah.
They're not offended by it. It's other people, it seems like they're pushing that.
Exactly.
You should be you should be insulted. But if you're not, then
right. I just heard a story about that with some like Spanish people were saying that they weren't offended by something. They wanted something brought back that they removed. I can't remember what the story was, but it was something about that. Like Hispanics wanted them to bring something back that they canceled because they thought it was offensive to Spanish people.
Yeah. We could name Aunt Jemima.
Oh, it was Speedy Gonzalez. It was Speedy Gonzalez. So they canceled Speedy Gonzalez because they say it reinforces negative Mexican stereotypes and that archetype of the sombrero and arriba. And he's like, and he talks with an accent, man. But people came out and were like, no, we love that. Like that was our first cartoon representation. You know what I mean?
And it was funny.
Yeah.
Like everybody knew who Speedy Gonzalez.
Right. You know who Speedy Gonzalez is, Lise? Okay, that's before your time.
Way before her time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a kid that actually I think he went to he dressed up as, I think he did a few different characters, and one of them was a Mexican. He wore the sombrero with poncho.
Yes,
the
poncho yeah.
with
the mustache.
The mustache, and he went to, it looked like a liberal college.
Yeah.
And he asked kids,
oh my gosh, is this offensive? Right.
Are you offended by what? Is this your culture? Then you shouldn't be. And then he went to the other side of town where it's all
Mexicans.
Yeah. And they're like,
we love it.
No, we love it.
Yeah. I remember that video.
Yeah,
It's so annoying when white people try to be outraged for you.
yeah.
It's like that video that we showed of all the white people saying that voter ID laws were racist because
Right.
black people can't
That's a
figure out where
great video.
DMVs are.
That is a great. They might not have access to internet.
Yeah,
They might
they
not
don't know how
where,
to use.
where to get to.
They don't have smartphones. Like what?
The governor who said, black kids, they don't even know the word
They don't
computer.
know the word computer. Yeah.
They don't know what internet is.
Yo, so racist. But yo, speaking of accents and speaking of Indians, I guess this is like the Indian episode here. Have you seen the guy that entered in the articles of impeachment against Trump?
No,
This congressman from Michigan.
no.
Let me pull this up, please, so he can
Not
just have a
heard.
look at this guy.
Okay.
Why does he look like Indian Jimmy Fallon?
He does.
Doesn't he look
He
like
does.
Indian
It's the
Jimmy
suit, too.
Fallon? It's the suit and
It's
the
a
haircut.
suit,
And the
yeah.
haircut.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is Punjabi Fallon right here. Poon Jimmy. Poon Jimmy
Jimmy.
Fallon.
What is he trying to impeach President Trump for?
Well, let's take a listen to him explain it to you. Let's see if you're prepared for this.
I know it's going to be some
This
nonsense.
is Congressman Shri Thanedar. Donald Trump has already done real damage to our democracy.
Already.
But defying a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court ruling, that has to be the final straw. It's time we impeach Donald J. Trump.
Bro, you can't take it serious, bro. You can't. Like when he hit the really,
Really?
real damage. Like, come on,
The court said the wrongfully
The wrong.
bro. He needs the AI. He needs the AI
Yes.
tool. He needs that crisp for his videos. Like, can we get my man? What's his name? Shri. Can we get Shri the crisp app?
Hold on though, like I actually would like to hear if those R's come in as strong as really.
Yeah, like how? That's a great
How-
point.
how
does
it
the AI eliminate the rolling of the R's? That's a great point. I don't think it could do that. Let's keep playing this clip because this guy. I mean, obviously, no one knew who this guy was. He's doing this to try to get his name out there.
Yeah,
He's a Democrat, unknown guy, Michigan. Everyone in the Democratic Party is like they're fighting for who's going to be in leader position. You know, so I think he's doing this just to like make a name for himself. But let's let him keep telling us about it.
Kilmer Garcia must be allowed to return and receive due process. Trump
He's talking about, you hear him?
Yeah.
We need to bring Kilmar back. This is what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
an illegal gangster
Woman beater.
woman beater. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the hill y'all want to die
They
on?
keep trying to
Yo,
die on this hill.
You guys don't want to win.
No.
You don't want to win.
ignored it. He ignored the Constitution. He ignored the very checks and balances that keep our democracy intact. This isn't an isolated incident. It's part of a dangerous, deliberate pattern. That's why today I introduced a
What is up
resolution
with the slow
to impeach
zoom in?
Donald J.
Yeah.
Trump, outlining
Looking
7
creepy.
articles of impeachment.
Yeah, so there you have it. Shri Thanedar. He is impeaching Donald Trump.
because of this
The immigration thing.
that's I don't know. That's not a good a good case there, but
I agree.
That's
Like
not a
it's
good
it's not
case.
going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just grandstanding, and now it's going to get to the point where the public is just going to be like another. This is the third one. Like really, guys. Like it's just they're making impeachments look like foolishness at this point.
yeah,
Like impeachment used to be a serious thing,
right.
but now that they just keep throwing them at Trump, it's like
It's like
another impeachment. All right, let's
that's
see how
what
many
they
we
do.
can.
They water down what the meaning of stuff is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now it's like, let's see. All right, now let's start seeing how many we can rack up
Yeah.
in 4 years. We only 100 days in, and they're releasing articles of
Right.
impeachment. So he's got a long way to go.
Well, America don't stand with you, bro, because they're already done polls about immigration. Everybody
Yeah,
is for what's going on right now.
the vast majority want
Well,
illegal.
not everybody. Let me rephrase that.
The vast majority.
There's a majority,
They want illegal immigration handled.
especially criminals. Like this dude is proven that he's a criminal,
Exactly. Did you see?
and he's not legally here.
Did you see those judges that got arrested?
Mhm.
What they were doing?
Yeah, they were aiding and embedding. That's
Aiding and abetting.
abetting.
Embedding.
They're embedding their ideas. I'm always messing some phrase up.
Embedding ideas. Yeah, I like how you tried to say that. No, aiding it like where have we come to where judges like the one case, the gang member beat someone to a pulp and was in court to face the victim of the assault charge, but ICE was there to grab him up after the hearing, and the judge found out about that and ushered him out the back door, and that's why she got arrested.
Yeah, I don't
like that's crazy.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Not everybody, especially you come to somebody's land, home, and you're disrespectful.
Yeah.
And
Committing crimes.
You're committing
violence.
violent crimes. You don't get due process. I'm a citizen now.
Yeah.
But I was an immigrant.
Right.
So there's some cases, I think I talked about this. I don't know if I talked about this last week, where there's a community of Cambodian people, probably from my time, that came here, and a few of them, this documentary followed a few of them where they got deported because some of it was like marijuana charges. They got caught with like marijuana.
Right.
Now marijuana is legal.
Mm-hmm.
But this one guy, he I think he had 2 kids, a wife. He had a business here. So he created like a life for himself, and he's a part of the community. He has a business making, money and the economy, in his community. Got deported. They ended up having to sell their business, and his wife is like, she don't know what to do because they're trying to get him back, and it's hard. If you had a congressman try to fight for somebody like that, where it's like, he's not a violent
guy.
He's not.
It's a nonviolent offense.
He likes to smoke marijuana.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that are good people that like smoking marijuana.
Right.
It's legal now. How about you cape for that?
Yeah.
If you cape for somebody like that, okay, we can have a
discussion about
it's immigration.
Yeah.
It's
right.
an immigration problem. But if you're just this is so political where it's like, what are y'all thinking? You want somebody like that who's beating people up and getting caught trafficking people.
Yeah.
Beat his wife. His wife put 2 restraining orders out on him, and that's the reason why you want to
Yeah.
impeach.
This other guy beat someone to a pulp. The guy, the judge, the male judge that was harboring a guy in their house was living with them. They said that when they arrested that guy and they confiscated his cell phone, he had pictures of decapitated victims on his phone.
Oh my goodness.
On his phone.
Oh my goodness. And this is true.
Yes.
This is true.
This is evidence that they have. Like they came out, the White House came out and told this. Like this is what they had. The dude had on his phone, and the judge went so far as when he found out that they were coming to get him, he took the cell phone, smashed it with a hammer, and like drove it somewhere and threw it in the dumpster, trying to hide evidence.
This is y'all leaders. This is who they're fighting for.
But like to the point you were making, like I understand if they were raising up these arms for people that like there's a gray area that we could talk about would be one thing, which is okay. But the problem is y'all are the ones that opened up the floodgates that made it all get commingled like this. So now there's this problem that we have to solve, and people are going to get caught up in the mix. But y'all are caping for the worst of the worst bad guys and looking like idiots because you are literally caping for criminals, like
Yeah.
extreme gang member,
Yeah.
violent killers. Like,
And yeah, I see there like you mentioned gray areas, and we had a conversation about it before,
mm,
where I get like people breaking laws to come here, like you don't know people's situations, and they created a life, and I'm for like you make your bed. You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta
Right,
lay,
gotta
you gotta
lay
lay
in
in
it.
it.
Yeah.
And whatever comes, even if you're a good person and you came here and it's been like 30 years and you created a life or whatever like that, that's what happens. But I do feel like those should, if we're talking about, a congressman fighting for anybody, it should be those type of people
Yeah.
who haven't had, any criminal records, any violent crimes. You know what I mean? There should be a way to citizenship, maybe. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be like, all right, you're gone.
Yeah.
I feel like if they've been here, yeah, they might have broken the law to come here to better their lives or whatever like
Yeah.
that. But
But then that's the thing. Like, if you broke a law, then after again while you're here, that's where it becomes.
Yeah.
Now that's what makes you more of a target.
yeah. Yeah.
If you're so there's an argument
those
that you
people-
can make to be like, all right, so you snuck in here, you're making a life for yourself here, you're trying to get a path to citizenship. You need to be the most squeaky clean model
Exactly.
citizen there is. So don't be out here smoking
Right.
weed.
Yeah.
Don't get yourself mixed up in a situation where you could possibly get arrested and mess up everything that you're
Yeah.
trying to build. So
Yeah.
there is accountability to be had for
Yep.
even for someone that you like the situation you were
Right.
mentioning.
Yeah. And I actually had a conversation with my wife about that. Because she was like, because it happened to me. I was young and dumb.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you don't really
Of
honor.
course.
You
Got
come-
arrested selling CDs, bro.
Right. You come here. That exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like who's to say? Like if I wasn't a
If
citizen,
Trump was president, you might have been
Bam.
damn, Mo, where'd you go? No.
that's what I'm saying.
The
Is
group
like
is done.
when you come here, especially at like a young age, you come here. I came here when I was like 6. Got sponsored here.
Yeah.
When you leave like the Cambodian community, and you make a life for yourself, you don't really realize
Yeah.
at 5 or 6 years old you have a green card, especially as like you don't have parents that's like, oh, you gotta become a citizen.
Yeah.
You gotta.
But
I mean,
see, even that you were more secure because you had the green card. You were a resident alien,
Right.
So it wasn't the same as someone who like overstayed a visa or someone who
Right.
snuck across the
But
border.
the same situations. Like a lot of them Cambodians that got deported, they had green cards.
Mm.
But the community that a lot of Cambodians, a big community is in Long Beach, and Long Beach, they have gang issues,
Gang activity, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you're in that type of
Community,
area.
yeah. You get mixed in.
And then you come here. The point that I was trying to make, you come here, you don't know anything else. You feel like this is your home.
Yeah.
You're a citizen until you
Mess up. You feel like you're good. Like nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
Nothing's gonna mess it up.
And then the documentary is pretty cool because it's like you're seeing these people that are like they're culture shocked. They go there. A lot of them don't even speak the language. They're
so they go back to Cambodia.
They go back
and then they don't speak Khmer.
Yeah, but they do have programs out there for people that
Okay.
integrating from the U.S. and trying to integrate back into Cambodian culture.
They can go out there and find some good wives though. You know what I mean? That's ready to cook and clean.
Be loyal.
Be loyal. Yeah. There's a whole trend now of like people going to Thailand. The passport bros.
People or I see videos of like it's all
Black dudes.
it's all older white men.
No, bro. There's a huge, like a huge culture of older black dudes now too.
Wow.
Moving to Thailand, getting these like young Thai women as wives.
I'm seeing, you know, Papa Jeff's age.
Yeah,
They got themselves little.
Yeah, because your money stretches really long over there.
Mm-hmm.
The women are brought up to be wives, and
They want a better life.
They want a better life, so they will marry an older man.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's interesting. But speaking of like all of this drama, all of this stress, all of this stuff going on, it's all happening within the first 100 days of Trump's presidency. We just hit 100 days. I think today was the 100th day.
That's it.
Yeah.
It seems like he's been in for at least a year already.
Right.
As much as he's done.
So, of course, all the news articles came out today saying that this was the polling was this is the worst 100 days in the history of all presidencies. You know, Trump is very unpopular, blah, blah, blah. I think that's a bunch of BS. You know how these people poll. Somebody on Twitter said Trump's approval at 100 days is the lowest ever, brought to you by the people who said Trump was a Russia asset, Hunter's laptop was fake, COVID was naturally occurring, mass COVID shots worked, Ukraine was winning, Biden was sharp as attack, and Kamala was a great candidate. Like, these are the same people that told you all this stuff are telling you that Trump's approval rating is the lowest ever in his first 100 days. But I just wanted to get your assessment on, like, how do you feel he's done as a job? Like, are there things that you wish had been done better? Are there things that you're really happy about for the 100 days of Trump's? Because we were like excited. They, you know, the first week or so felt like they were going full steam ahead.
The only thing is the Kash Patel and, you know,
Pam Bondi.
I feel like they haven't, you know, we were promised a lot of stuff, but I mean, I think Trump has done, bro. Like I just said it. It seemed like he's been in for like a year already, as much as he's, you know,
been working. Yeah,
the executive orders that he's signed, and I think he's doing a great job with Doge. You know, finding all the money that, you know.
Yeah, it's just like we have to see what happens with all of that. I think people are expecting. We're expecting. Even with the Pam Bondi and Kash Patel thing, like Dan Bongino as well. I've heard people that have had conversations with them behind the scenes and like saying, like, I know people want these things to be like so quick to happen, but there's a lot of stuff that's got to happen behind the scenes that they're working on that people don't know about. Yeah. You know, so, you know, basically telling people to just be patient because it's coming. But I think the Epstein like release of the list was a complete debacle. Like that was pointless. Yeah. You know, they made a lot of promises about even the JFK files, like Martin Luther King files. We were promised that in April, I believe. We didn't get that. Yeah. So those things. Even ending the war in Ukraine, he made that promise. That didn't happen.
Day one.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Trump. Like, he embellishes and he says a lot of stuff.
Right.
That doesn't mean he doesn't mean it. You know, like he means that he will.
He's on it. He's going to be on it.
He's on it.
He's done more about it than Biden did the entire time the war has been happening.
He embellishes. That dude embellishes, but you know, that's not to say that he's not, you know, doing stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
I felt like Biden was like asleep at the wheel, bro. Like,
yeah, an official in Israel just came out admitting that Biden never talked to them about a ceasefire. Like, they completely lied about that whole thing. Remember, they were trying to take credit for the ceasefire thing? They were saying, like, he never talked to us.
How do you lie about something like that?
Bro, because they lie about everything. Everything.
But stuff gets out. I guess it's like, because who cares if it gets out? Because
we're just gonna keep lying.
We're just gonna say
we're gonna, and the whole news is gonna back us up. Every news outlet that's reported that Trump is the worst president ever is gonna report that, or they're not gonna report on the fact that came out. Yeah. They're gonna hide it, and the only one who's gonna report on it is like News Nation, Fox News, or Newsmax, and people are gonna be like, ignore them. It's fake news.
Yeah.
But I do think that, like, when you look at what he did with the border crossings went to 0 pretty much. He solved that right away. What they're trying to do with immigration, but they're getting all of these judges trying to block what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, they're and essentially what they're trying to do, and what like people like Tim Pool and other analysts have pointed out, is the concept of giving everyone a due process court date for deportation is it's nonsensical. And not only is it nonsensical, what it does is it limits the ability to deport anyone, because you're just gonna there's millions and millions of people that have been brought in illegally that all need to be deported. So if they all have to be set up with a court date, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. So you're essentially just stopping the whole process, which is what they want to do.
Yeah.
So, but like you said,
are they locking them up? You know what I mean? Like they catch and release, and here's a court date.
Yeah.
And they're never gonna. They're just gonna.
They're going to avoid the court date, and no one's going after them.
Yeah.
In fact, they were being shipped all over the country. So, I mean, it was, and I think it was being deliberately done because someone broke down the numbers showing that there would, if it wasn't for all of the illegals that they brought in, the Republicans would have way more seats in Congress, because the way the numbers get moved around based off of population and based off of the census, you know. So that's another incentive to just flood these Democratic cities with more and more people, because now they can take up more seats. They can get more electoral college votes, so they can just consistently rig the system to be in power.
Yeah, I've seen lots of videos of, illegal immigrants saying that I voted.
Yeah. But even if they don't vote, just them being on the census, period, like, it gives that city more numbers, more people. Now they can have more Senate seats. They can have more, not Senate seats, House seats, because that's based off of your population. And same thing with electoral college votes. That's based off of population.
Yeah.
So, it's you see what they're doing. They're trying to control the House, have a stranglehold on the House, and rig the electoral college numbers. But I wanted to ask you about your boy Saquon going to visit with Trump.
I like Saquon even more now.
Apparently,
they're mad at him for.
Well, first of all, they say, of course he did. He has a white wife.
Why did I don't? I text y'all that. Like, I knew they were. As soon as I found out that he went golfing with the president.
Yep.
I knew there was gonna be something negative said about his wife.
Yep.
Because they always bring that up.
They did the same thing with Patrick Mahomes, right? Because he was more of a Trump supporter, and he has a white wife as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You knew Saquon was gonna be there. Look at who his wife is.
Yeah.
Can't just because he's maybe voted Republican because he's more conservative. I'm not saying that he is. I don't know.
Or maybe he's just smart.
Yeah.
At this point,
like, you should be able to me, and there was a lot of Eagles that weren't there, like a lot of starters that didn't show up.
Yeah.
And people are like, dude, that's why I like my quarterback. I'm like, I'm not even mad that they didn't show up. That we live in the United States of America. You should
people can do what they want.
You should have a choice. If
they claim they didn't show up because of scheduling conflict, because I think it was AJ, Devontae, and Jalen Hurts didn't show up.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Well, dude just got married. They said that he was on his honeymoon or something like that. I don't know who, but I honestly
who cares?
Yeah, I really don't care.
It's football.
Play football.
It's football, guys.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you, to me, it's like, even if, I think even if I was on a team and, say I played professional football or something like that, and my team won and we had an opportunity to go to the White House and a Democrat was the president at the time, I would still go.
Is Jake on? I think I hear him.
Yeah.
Okay. What's up? Hold on, let me bring you on the screen. But keep talking on. Yeah. So also I've played on a lot of soccer teams with guys that we don't see the same way politically, but we still are great friends and we still get along and we still celebrate together. You know?
Listen, I don't agree with. I have conversations with one of my good friends, Nana, all the time. We don't agree, on everything, politically, but I still love him,
Of course, because it seems like it's only the left that totally disowns you.
Yeah.
If you don't agree with them on everything.
And you're made a villain because you support Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Jake, you hear us? We weren't talking about football. We just started talking about football. Just want to tell you that.
Was y'all saying that something about being on teams or friends with people who are on the other side politically?
Yeah, we were talking about the Eagles because they did recently. I think it was this weekend. They went to the White House because they're the world champs of the NFL. I don't know why they're called the world champs. It should be the United States champ. But anyways, they just went and there was a lot of Eagles starters that weren't there. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. But Saquon was there.
Mm.
They're
I did catch a little bit of that online about Saquon. Yeah, I did catch some of that.
He hung out with Donald Trump. I think he played golf. And of course, they threw in the fact that, of course he did that. Of course he went golfing with Donald Trump because look at who his wife is.
What's up, Papa Jeff? We see you in there. He said due process for illegal aliens is immediate deportation. This foolishness about due process is from the ignorant to the ignorant. That's absolutely correct. There actually is no due process for people who have come into the country. That doesn't exist. Yeah. So even framing it in that way is a way to create a straw man argument. Yeah. So we were talking about this illegal alien thing. We're talking about these judges who are harboring these fugitives. So a couple of days ago, people were posting about the story that happened exactly 1 year ago. I want to show y'all this because this is what we're dealing with these. Can you pull this up, please?
Statue in the apartment, and the gang members said they wanted to offer the beast a soul. Police say Hernandez Rivera and Alvarez Flores killed the girl execution style. Killers confessed to the crime after they were arrested. 22-year-old Miguel Alvarez Flores, there you see on the left, and 18-year-old Diego Hernandez Rivera on the right appeared in court this week. Now, according to HPD, most MS-13 gang members are in this country illegally, and these two murder suspects could be as well. Police say they have reported the two to Homeland Security. Now, an investigator told us this morning that officers found evidence in the apartment where these gang members were keeping underage girls that led police to believe there was some sort of satanic ritual activity happening there. HPD says there were 3 underage girls in the apartment of the murder suspects, a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old who was murdered, and then a 16-year-old girl. Police say the 14-year-old told detectives she was kidnapped, drugged, and sexually assaulted by members of the MS-13 gang. Now, the 14-year-old also reportedly told investigators she was moved from one apartment to another, forced into consuming drugs and alcohol, then at one point was held down as Alvarez Flores tattooed the image of the Grim Reaper on her body from her knee down to her foot. This girl also told police the 15-year-old at the apartment was a girl named Genesis. She believes Genesis is the girl found dead on February 16th.
Yeah. So when you look at this judge that's harboring an MS-13 member, this other judge, Trende Awagwa member, this other judge who lets a MS-13 member out the back door of the courtroom, and now it's been arrested, and the left is losing their mind. Then you have this guy Kilmar, who we just saw the video of this Indian guy from Congress talking about how we need to impeach Trump. He wants to introduce articles of impeachment against Trump because we need to bring Kilmar back to the U.S. And this guy is a known MS-13 gang member. And we've talked about this on here before, Jake, about how like they literally worship Satan in that gang.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And this is what they want to advocate for. This is what I want to die on this hill of a satanic, dark, like death cult of a gang.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of these people worship Satan too, who are doing it. Like if you look at, I forget the city in California where everybody, they were coming up in the city council meeting and spouting "Hail Satan."
Yes, that just happened like last week.
A couple weeks ago, yeah. And so and now it's different when you are like, I would say, Satanist versus like a Luciferian, because Satanists don't actually worship Satan; they just worship themselves. You know, they don't really even believe in Satan. It's more about selfishness, right?
Right. Do what thou wilt.
Right, but it's not even that far because that's Stelema. It's more they just want to do whatever they want, and the rituals are just connected to them doing whatever they want. Even though it is deeper than that, but my point is that all these people really care about is doing what they want, and whatever, and they have to show good faith with others who want to do whatever they want, right? Like MS-13 members that want to come into this country however they want.
Yeah.
Because it's all connected, you know. They're all connected. They're all helping each other. It's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So we're all helping each other until we're not. Because they're fighting against order. They're fighting against sovereignty. They're fighting against God-given principles.
Yeah.
Right? Because when there's no order, there's chaos. MS-13 can't thrive in order. MS-13 thrives in chaos. Gangs thrive in chaos.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what's happening. And you're seeing it in these towns. They're trying to bring chaos. You're seeing it with a lot of these, I don't want to even just say Satanists, but a lot of these very, very leftists, they're trying to bring chaos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether they know it or not, even to change your gender, you're bringing chaos on your own body.
Yeah.
Whether you believe it or not, whether you know it or not.
All of these policies to push abortion, to push, Marxism, Black Lives Matter, communism. I don't know if you guys saw this report about how they were breaking down the birth rate, how it's plummeting, and it's at like serious catastrophic levels. Like the number of Gen Alpha or Gen Z 18-year-olds is like half as many millennials. And the numbers have been declining since like the baby boomers, because people aren't having kids. But like Jake was saying, when you have a culture that introduces chaos, that introduces
selfishness,
it introduces do what thou wilt, it introduces birth control, it introduces abortion, it introduces transgenderism, homosexual lifestyles, doesn't care about the nuclear family. Black Lives Matter said they want to eradicate the nuclear family in their mission statement. These concepts lead us to a point of unsustainability, because the way a society works is that the next generation has to be the one to hold up the older folks and keep everything moving forward. All of the industry that we build up, all of the things that we build upon, the next generation has to come along and keep those things sustained. And if you don't have the numbers, everything will collapse.
Yeah,
And
it becomes
Go ahead.
unsustainable,
Yeah,
and it becomes unstable,
yeah,
right? And that's how you get disorder, and it comes from lack of responsibility. When you don't respect what comes before you, when you don't know why it comes before you, when you don't understand why things happen before you, and you just think you can do it your own way, you lose meaning, you lose integrity, things start to break apart, and it can
yeah.
happen within a generation, and it's sad. I just saw, wasn't Trump floating around giving people tax incentives to have kids?
Yeah, he's actually looking at like he was talking about, and I don't know how this could be implemented or if it would even work, but like a $5,000 basically just stipend if you're pregnant, like you just
Yeah.
get like a $5,000 check.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Which, I mean, we need some kind of incentive towards people having families, and like it's extremely important at this time, because
Mm-hmm.
where we're at right now and the way people are not replacing themselves, like even having one kid doesn't replace the two of you. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and a
It's
lot of
isn't
families are only having one.
uh, isn't it crazy how, like, when we say the wages of sin, right, are death,
Yeah.
and you start to see that, because when you want to do whatever you want, when you're gonna have babies, but then you're gonna get abortions because you don't want to deal with it. You're gonna have sex. You're gonna do all these things. You're not. You're gonna be with women, men with men. You're not gonna. And the more you do that, there's no life there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You can't birth anything.
Not
And what
reproducing.
happens is you don't realize that what the generations before you built can only be sustained with more life.
Yeah.
It's life, right? And the more you think about yourself and you become selfish, things start to die. If you don't take care of the garden, it's going to die. If you don't take care of your house starts to crumble,
Yeah.
right? This is just basic stuff that and I hear this all the time. You look at Korea, but again, you look at America. We can't even replace ourselves.
Look, as you say it, I pulled a chart up.
Yo, those numbers are crazy.
As
Look at
you
that
say it,
plummet.
I pulled a chart up. U.S. Total fertility rate in 2021 remained below the replacement level of 2.1, and it's even lower now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
And
1960s. 60 is at its peak,
Yeah, that's the boomers. That's why they call them the boomers, because there
Yeah.
was so many babies.
and then boom.
how many people are having gender affirming care destroying their bodies that they won't even be able to have kids if they change their minds,
Yeah.
right? They change. I just saw something today, girl at 12 years old. She had all the surgeries, and I think she was 20 now or 19, and she's already out of it. She's out of that mentality.
Wow.
She's trying to transition back to being a girl that she was born as, but she's never going to be able to have kids. She can't have kids now because she destroyed her body because of bad, irresponsible parents, right? And
Yeah.
allowing her to be responsible for the life she doesn't know how to be responsible for. And that's just one person. But what I'm saying is this is happening more and more at a greater scale. So there's more and more destruction happening. There's less and less life happening. How many babies died last year from abortion?
Man, I mean, I'm sure it was record numbers.
Yeah.
I think it was close to I don't remember if it was 2 million or a million, but I know it was close to either 2 million or close to a million. Regardless,
Let's ask
think
Rock.
about that. That's crazy.
That's people that could have been on this earth.
Yeah.
And
Doctors, lawyers.
mostly in the black community, and that's one of the craziest statistics to me is when you look at how the population of the black community has not grown since, like, I mean, I forget how astronomically long. I think it was like the 70s, but the population has not grown because of abortion. So globally, the World Health Organization estimates around 73 million induced abortions occur annually based on data from 2015 to 2019. It says in 2024, an estimated 1,038,100 abortions were performed in the United States alone, without total abortion bans. Yeah,
1,300,000.
1,038,100.
So a little over a million.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And then when you look at what everyone panicking over these student loan wage garnishment, like that's another effect of this whole thing that we're talking about. People feeling like they can't even get ahead to have a family, to have kids. Like they're being sold this dream, this falsehood of going to college, getting a degree in nothing, and you're going to be somehow successful and rewarded for this. Take out a student loan, don't think about it. You'll pay it back eventually when you're 18 years old.
Yeah.
And now, I have you guys been seeing all these videos going viral on like TikTok and everywhere of people, like mostly women, mostly girls, like freaking out because they're gonna start garnishing people's wages for student loans.
I haven't seen any of the videos, but
I have some. Let me see. Because people are freaking out.
I mean, that's another example of we were talking about, you make a decision, you're gonna have to
Accountability, right?
You have to live with it.
Yeah.
You got to be accountable to the actions and the decisions, bad decisions that you made.
Right.
But
why don't we hear Jake? Jake, we don't hear you. Are you muted?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I saw your lips. I forgot. At the other end of that moan, though, the beauty about God is that we make mistakes, but God brings solutions.
Yes.
Right? Grace is his ability. Grace is favor when we don't deserve it. Right?
Right.
So God, like, think about the beauty of what God can do in situations that from our perspective seem there's no way. From our perception, it seems. And I
mean, we've seen it in our lives, but I'm talking about, the ungrateful, people that,
that's my point.
They feel entitled.
Well, that's my point, is that you're right. You're gonna be held accountable. That's what, to the measure that you measure, it'll be measured back to you, right? Mm-hmm. So whether you know it or not, you're gonna be held accountable. It's just like, you might not have meant to kill somebody, but you punch somebody, they hit their head. That's manslaughter, right? You have to pay the penalty, right? But again, through Christ, this is what I'm trying to say. This is the good news to those who are speaking this way. This is the good news to those who are the way you're talking. They can come over to Christ. There's no other way, right? But they can receive the Lord. I'm not saying that God is just going to make everything all well and it's going to be sunshine and rainbows, butterflies. What I'm saying is that the beauty of God is that he'll make a way for you where it seems like there's no way. You're just going to have to believe and trust in faith, right? But there is no faith in thinking I deserve something that I don't deserve.
Yeah.
And this is where we're at with so many people.
Yeah. That's everything that's going on right now.
Yep.
The immigration thing we were talking about, you know.
Yeah.
Let me play some of these people complaining about the student loans real quick before my computer dies.
They about to garnish our wages. They really know how to just.
Oh, it died. It died. Well,
Dead.
well, I'm gonna get my other computer up here, and we'll try to continue this. Yeah, I freaking
Look at that old clunker compared to.
Oh man, this thing is a tank though, bro. This thing is a tank, man. 2012 MacBook Pro. They haven't built one like
2012. Lisa, you were 2 years old.
this. Yeah. All right, let me see if I can find these pages.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those TikToks. I actually forgot about that.
That they're gonna garnish people's
Yeah.
student loans. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Let me see. Tell me if you can. Tell me if you get the desktop presenter up, at least. Hold on, I'll tell you when to check. Okay, check. See if it comes up. No. Okay, switch to on for a second. I'll try to pull it up on there.
Technical difficulties.
Okay, you guys talk amongst yourselves.
What you want to talk about, Jake?
I had to take myself off mute.
Oh, there it goes. I see it.
That's frozen from the other computer.
That's a nice shot there.
We're always gonna have issues, man. There's not gonna be. We can always find something to complain about, right? There's always things that can get in our way, but then we're gonna have to deal with it. We're gonna have to deal with it unless somebody deals with it for us, and then we never learn. And that's why, like, that's the biggest things with fathers. And we're dealing with a lot of people who have grown up in broken homes, who have grown up either with their father not in the house, or just without fathers, more today than almost maybe any other time in history, especially in America. And it's doing harm to society. Fathers are there to help children get through things, but they come alongside them and tell them you can do it.
Yes.
Right? Even though they're complaining and whining
and laying down the law too. Like I can speak on that because I saw the difference in the year and a half or whatever like that my son Noah was with his mother. I saw it, and there's a difference. Now he's with me and I hold him accountable to things that he's, doing or not doing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. To be sympathetic, like the reverse racism is white people telling black people they can't get license. They can't get IDs to vote.
Yeah.
That's from,
we were talking about that earlier.
But what is that? That's the same type of mentality. That's overly.
It's overcompensating.
Empathetic,
yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then it's let me take away everything that can harm. The secular humanist wants to take away any type of harm, wants to take away any kind of suffering. But suffering in the right context is always good.
Yeah.
If we don't allow our kids to suffer, they're never gonna learn.
Yeah, it builds it's growth.
Right. So when we don't have men in the house to allow our kids to go through suffering, nothing happens. The kids don't learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the mothers are not made to they're softer. You know, they want to help. They want to do it. They want to do it for their, and fathers step in and say, no, let him do it for himself. You know,
Yeah.
and we don't have that. And our society is struggling because of it. We're creating weak men.
Yeah.
Right? We're creating weak men and weak women who all they do and all they want to do is complain and then want somebody to come to their rescue, preferably the government.
Yeah. And that's, I see that. I think it's like, forgive them because they don't know. Like, a lot of times they I talk to people that have come from, different countries. This one guy from Venezuela, like, he talks about, like, people in the U.S. They're so privileged they don't even see what they have, but they don't know, what it's like anywhere else.
Right.
Like being in the band, we get to see parts of the world. When we went to South Africa, we saw, like, we went to Soweto. We had to pass through all, the half hour or 40 minutes that we drove, from our hotels to where Nelson Mandela's house was. We passed through all these little shacks the size of, my shed and Jamie's shed, and they're all people's homes,
Yep.
no
Yeah.
electricity or plumbing or whatever. And a lot of people don't get to see what it's like in other parts of the world, so they don't really know,
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think we're good to go. I think we're up and running. Tell me if is this showing up, Lise? Tell me if you see. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now we're back. All right. So let's run through some of these videos of people ranting. You're gonna notice something in common about student loans.
She's never been to a village in Cambodia or
Soweto.
Soweto.
They about to garnish our wages. They really know how to just ruin your day. The U.S. government hates everybody here. Y'all, as of May 5th, they're taking 15% of your wages towards student loans. Y'all, I've been ignoring student loans since I've been in school. If y'all know how much I owe in student loan, y'all would think I went to school to be a lawyer. And it's a degree that wasn't even providing me a decent lifestyle. I was just living off vibes. So you mean to tell me I went to school and y'all lied to me? Y'all wanted me to go out there and do triple the work to get a degree. Y'all, I owe so much money. I'm in Texas, so
who is y'all that she's speaking about? They lied to her. Is she talking about, like, the media in general who told her, like,
they did
the propaganda from movies and TV
propaganda,
shows?
bro. Like,
yeah.
we talked about that. We talked about how it, I felt like they did it on purpose to get people to just go to college.
Yeah,
and
pay these tuition fees. Well,
let's ship the jobs, like factory working and
manufacturing jobs,
building stuff with your hands to China.
And all of our youth will push to universities and we'll fund it with government backed loans that the taxpayers are paying for, which then in turn allows these universities to skyrocket their tuition fees because the loans are backed by the government.
Ain't that some stuff?
Yeah. And now now you get people that grow up and are able to just be like, well, I wanna get a degree in
gender studies
or critical theory,
or something artsy.
Yeah.
When I went to Fabian's graduation, I heard a lot of these graduates' degrees.
Yeah.
And that, a lot of these are horrible, and it's sad.
Yeah, you're not gonna get a job in these fields.
No. And I remember even when Fabian, he wanted to go to school and he wanted to go to NYU.
Yeah.
Right? And it was too expensive. And it's like, all right, well, what can we do? All right, you can go to Rutgers. You can stay home. You don't have to pay tuition, right? we just made decisions. This is how you can pay it. This is what we can do. And he doesn't have any student loans.
But that's the difference between a parent that gives the child the knowledge and gives them the understanding and doesn't just want them to have this college experience just to have it.
Living off of vibes.
Living off of vibes, bro. She said it. Like,
But see how she's not taking any responsibility for it?
Yep.
She's blaming everybody else.
Yep.
Is this video real?
Yeah, it's real. Trust me, it's real, bro. There's a bunch of them. But yeah, you get the gist. I want to move to the next one because it's just like they are just ranting.
Oh.
I owe about $150,000 in student loans. I got 2 degrees. I got a bachelor's in biology and I got a master's in secondary education with an endorsement in clinical mental health counseling, right?
Why she gotta be eating chicken wings
And with the bonnet
y'all
on?
mean to tell me y'all gonna garnish my check? I'm trolling, right? I made that video last night. I never knew it was so many negative people that would comment on that video. I feel like my video reached the wrong side of TikTok. Like, just laugh. I'm not mad about it. I haven't paid these years in over 4 years. After I graduated in 2021. You think I'm worried about it now?
That's nasty, dude.
If they get it, they don't. I ain't working in my degree because I put my kids first. I got a job.
This is where I think this is fake, bro. Like, she's trying to go viral and be hood as possible and nasty and just she's trying to go viral.
Well,
I think she's trying to go viral.
Let's
bro.
watch the next one, and you tell me, is it going viral? Because all of these people are talking about how they never paid their student loans and they had no intentions of paying them. Because I've heard people saying dumb stuff about like just file for bankruptcy. Bankruptcy doesn't get rid of student loans.
No.
You can't do that.
Not from the government.
Yeah, and they're mad because they didn't get the bailout that Biden promised them, but that's because it was never constitutional to begin with. You can't expect the taxpayer to pick up and pay off all of y'all loans.
People that made good decisions that
or got it out the mud the hard way, worked their way up, trade jobs, plumbers. People that working in
no, that's what I mean.
Linesmen, like people that are working in the sewers. These are the people that gotta pay off your
they didn't
2
go to college.
degrees
They went
to live off of vibes for 4 years and never want to pay your loans back. And now you working at Target, even though you got a psychology degree.
And entitlement.
Yeah. All right, let's watch this lady. Thanks, Lise.
Just for the record, we will all file bankruptcy and we will all go back to school. You're not getting a dime from us. What? I have 3 degrees. I'll go get another one. I'm a black woman. Black women are the most educated populace on this planet. We go to bed, wake up, and decide, okay, we're bored. Let's go get another degree. Are you kidding me? I will take 2 to 3 credits per semester, per year, until the next administration gets here and figures this all out. You're not getting a dime from me, Donald Trump. Because see, what you don't understand, while you are trying to crush the middle class and destroy the lower class, we're thinking 10 steps ahead of you. You've been wanting that degree, go get it now. If you've been wanting that 2nd or 3rd degree, go sign up now. Sign up part-time. Get those credits. Stay in school as long as you need to.
She got 3 degrees and don't understand how student loans work. She said Donald Trump ain't getting a dollar out of her. Donald Trump is not the one taking the money back from these loans that you took out. These are banks. You take out a loan, you have to pay that loan back. Like, I don't understand what she's talking about. And that whole trope about, because you hear them say it all the time. Jasmine Crockett says it all the time. All these pundits, all these people on the news channels, Joy Reid just say this, black women are the most educated population on the planet. That is not based in any factual evidence. I don't know where they get this from.
Do you have the statistics?
I definitely have seen the actual breakdown of this before.
Asians were
exactly. I think there was a article written about how black women compared to black men are the biggest like disproportionate educate like there's the biggest difference between black women and black men is more than any other demographic. So they took that and said we're the most educated.
Yeah.
But it's not when you look at white women and Asian women, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. But they took that. Matter of fact, let's ask Grok right now. Let's ask Grok right now.
Don't just be talking without
because I might get this completely wrong. Let's ask Grok right now. Hold on. Are black women the most educated demographic? Okay. Populating.
Elaborate. What do you mean by that?
Okay. Let's see. So, again, highest enrollment rates. Black women have the highest college enrollment rates by race and gender. Data from National Center of Education, NES, shows 9.7% of black women aged 18 to 24 were enrolled in college, surpassing Asian women. So they're the most enrolled. Based off of demographic percentage-wise. The most enrolled.
But what makes you the most educated and the smartest?
Well, let's look at the misinterpretation of the claim often stems from a 2014 study highlighting black women's high enrollment and degree attainment relative to black men. Like I said, not all groups. This has been misinterpreted by some media outlets. For example, while black women outperform black men significantly, e.g. 64% of bachelor's degrees among black students, women across all racial groups tend to earn more degrees than their male counterparts, making the age gap more pronounced among blacks, but not unique. So women are getting degrees more than men in all age demographics, but it's more pronounced amongst blacks because black men ain't going to college.
Because men, there's other avenues. Men, they work with their hands. They'll go,
Yeah. This says when comparing across all demographics, black women do not have the highest number of degrees per capita. According to the 2022 U.S. Census Bureau, 32% of black women aged 25 and older have a bachelor's degree, compared to 77% of Asian women and 50.5% of white women. Asian and white women generally have the higher bachelor degree attainment rates. Advanced degrees for doctoral degrees, 61% of women earning these degrees are white, compared to 12.5% who are black, reflecting the higher absolute numbers for white women due to population size and enrollment differences.
Yeah.
So, again, they say this based off of like some article that was written that put a battery in their back from 2014.
I like that.
But it is not based in factual evidence.
It just made me think of like a cartoon version of Joy Reid.
And someone putting the battery,
like the buddy,
and she gets on stage. Black women are the most intelligent of the entire world. Like, it's just like annoying. Like, you don't have to go that far with it. Like, black women are doing
That's
great.
So snooty.
Black women are educated. Yes. But like
that's what I don't like.
Black women are the most educated in the world.
I don't like that.
Meanwhile, you're showing how ignorant you are, talking about you're gonna get filed for bankruptcy and just stay in school till you die, so you never have to pay your loans back. Like,
okay,
get another degree.
Okay, you do that.
Yeah, you keep doing that.
You keep on doing that.
Keep on getting all the degrees.
Don't listen to her, okay, guys?
Yeah. So again, let's watch one more.
I am so blown. I really am. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had no intentions on paying my student loans back. Like, I really have not. Like, my motto was they gonna get it back in blood, but apparently they're trying to get it back in motherfucking blood. So, yeah, I'm about to just go for broke, pack a bag, take my dog and get the fuck up out of the United States and see what happens. Like, literally, what's the worst that could happen at this point?
You're gonna leave the country.
Where are you gonna go
to avoid your student loans? But if they garnishing wages,
she look crazy when you pause it. She look crazy.
I had to show because I was finding all black.
I was gonna say, is it gonna be all black?
I was finding all black women complaining, but there was some
just drop
white
the
people.
student loan bomb. Fuck. The federal government just announced that it's coming for your loans, and collections begin May 5th for student loan debt. If you're in default, they can garnish your wages, they can take your tax return, and they can even take like your benefits like Social Security. And if you still can't pay it and you default, they're going to send you to collections. There are about 5.3 million people in the United States right now in default. This is going to hurt the people that are already struggling the most.
Really?
The most.
So the people that were privileged enough to go to college on student loans and live off of vibes for 4 years and go to frat parties and go to Coachella, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think they were the ones struggling.
You're the
most
one
in
struggling the
US.
most. Really? But this is the privileged mentality. This is the entitlement that they think.
She'd be one of them that say that black people don't know how to get on the internet to get an ID.
Right. And meanwhile, I just want to show, we showed this before, but I just want to show this video of people talking about all their great degrees they were getting, right? These are the same people that don't want to pay their student loans back.
My name is Jacob, and my concentration is environmental science and sustainable business.
Hi, my name is Lex, and my concentration is the performance of self.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle. My concentration is creative direction, production, and narrative through the arts, performance, and written word.
Hi, my name is Karina Gomez, and my concentration is in journalism and Latin American studies with an emphasis in human rights, collective memory, and political violence.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Lee, and I studied the sociology of environmental communication.
Hi, my name is Reed, and I study music business and gender studies.
Hi, my name is Dominique, and I studied care politics with a minor in disability studies.
My name is Elliot Wright, and my concentration is art as a social mechanism.
Hi, I'm Georgia, and my concentration is dramatic writing and theatrical adaptation.
My name is Noah Loyacano, and my concentration is equilibrium or negotiated paradox.
Hi, my name is Sophie Lopez, and my concentration is titled Queering and Decolonizing Theater Practice.
Hi,
Decolonizing theater practice.
Oh, boy.
Concentration is journalism, post-colonial studies, and psychoanalysis.
Hi, I'm Eloise. I'm graduating with a concentration in philosophy of science and theater.
My name is Amina, and my concentration is titled The Criminal Mind, which is surrounded on criminology and applied psychology.
Hi, my name is...
Okay, you get the point. Like, all these people are working at Walmart and Starbucks and Target right now. Elise, take note, because if you ever try to come to me in a few years with the idea of one of these degrees, I'm going to tell you, yeah, we're going to go ahead and find you a job somewhere, because you are not...
To the no.
Hell to the no. To the no. Yeah, but so you can't make those decisions and take out thousands and thousands of dollars in loans backed by the government, and then be mad when it's time for you to when you've been in default, because you're only in default once you haven't paid it in years, because once you graduate, that's when you have to start paying it back. So you have to be not paying it for years to be in default, you know? And now they saying we coming for our money. It's time to pay the piper.
Yeah.
Accountability.
They can work for it. What can you imagine if they made up a program? You could do some work to pay off your debt. They're bringing back slavery.
Work off your debt like biblical times, right? Have them serve, pay off their debts. Yeah, but
make them serve in the army.
That's a great idea. Serve in the army
I
to
don't
pay
know
off
if you
your
want
debts.
the Juliana.
You don't want none of them. None of them would have been suitable. They wouldn't even make it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Uncle Denny said the government has put a hold on my son's student loan for like 4 years now. Society teachers.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that's the other thing. Like through COVID, people had deferments. People put a hold on it. Biden put a hold on it. Trump put a hold on it when he was the president because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's 2025 now.
Yeah.
You know, it's time to.
He said they're gonna confiscate that glass eye. What's he mean by that?
What glass? Yeah, I don't know.
And Papa Jeff said Cinco de Mayo, baby.
Yeah. Cinco de Mayo. Everybody won't be out partying, drinking tequila because they'll be worried about the wage garnishments coming in. I saw people saying like, y'all better take all y'all money out the bank. You better get your paycheck. Take direct deposit. You think they still can't? They will get your employer.
Yeah.
And that money will come out before you get your check.
Yeah.
They do it for people with child support.
Yeah.
They do it with all kind of stuff. They will garnish your wages.
Yeah. Speaking of Cinco de Mayo, I guarantee you it. Has anybody done a video about like people that go out to the bars and celebrate Cinco de Mayo? Like, I think that would be funny.
That would be funny.
Do you know what
are you celebrating
Cinco de
right
Mayo
now?
is about?
Tacos and tequila, man.
getting drunk.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. I don't think people know what Cinco de Mayo is about. Do you know what it's about?
It's Mexico winning
their
independence from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, Texas had a lot. Texas was it? I don't think it was a part of the U.S. yet, right?
I don't know. Was it during then? I don't remember. Jake would know probably better than we would. But he's been on mute this whole time.
Parts of it was.
Yeah, parts of it was. Because wasn't Sam Houston the general that was held up? No,
aren't you learning about this right now in history?
Well, the Alamo was part of it, right? Alamo.
Yeah, the war at the Alamo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
but
I
guarantee you that most people don't know. That would be a funny video.
That would be a funny video, especially like drunk white women just trying to explain to them what it's about. Yeah. What else do we have to talk about? Oh, I had some videos that I wanted to react to.
I want to talk about that movie Sinners, but we're gonna do it next week.
Yeah, we're gonna do that when James is here because he watched it, and I want to be able to like.
That makes me want to go watch it.
I want to go back and forth and like because he really really liked that movie, and I want to hear.
I've heard some saying that it like tapped into like demonic.
Definitely. I mean, it
I don't even know what it's about.
Jake, the video Jake sent me today, it was a whole compilation of especially like black people on TikTok just saying like, this is our ancestry and they got you worshiping that white Jesus and we need to be looking at our real history and like this was our culture, this was our religion, talking about hoodoo and like just the more voodoo style religion, which a lot of that stuff was also steeped in just like pagan culture where there was like a lot of natural remedies for things that dealt with herbs. And there was that element of it as well, but it's still very tied to witchcraft. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I wouldn't go see it because I'm not supporting that agenda.
You're not supporting the giving money to that agenda to.
Yeah, the intention of that movie is to bring about a revitalization of African American spiritualism.
Have you have you heard them actually say that was the intention of the movie?
I mean, I've seen where they getting their inspiration from and what I watch interviews. So from what I've seen, yeah, that's what they're doing it for.
Could it be just to be culturally accurate to the concepts and the script and the art of it, or did you hear them actually say like we want black people to be able to tap back into their roots of African spiritualism? Have you actually like heard them say that? Because
I've heard them say, maybe not in that exact way, but I've heard them say that in terms of historically. But even that is slighted, right? Because anybody can say historically, and you're telling one, you're not telling the whole history.
Yeah.
But also, I've heard a lot about identity, who we are as a people. And
but that's coming more from like the people watching it, right?
No, it's coming from the actresses and actors.
Oh,
in it,
okay.
And it's coming from Ryan.
Okay.
I sent a clip. I think it didn't send, but I even sent a clip from because we got to think about this. Like, this has been an agenda. If you think about Black Panther, he did that movie too.
Yeah,
right?
he did that. Yes.
And that part that always stood out to me was when Michael B. Jordan his character Killmonger is dying, and he says, "Bury me with my ancestors in the ocean," right?
Yeah.
Because they knew that. What was it? They knew that that death is better than bondage.
Right.
Right. So even that whole thing with my ancestors, right? And that's the connect, the ancestors. So it's that connection right there that he's made a lot in his movies.
Yeah. And it's funny because even the two like leaders of Black Lives Matter were doing that ritual stuff.
Yeah.
And talking about the ancestors as well. Like even they were tapped into that. I remember the Beyonce album that was totally like surrounded by that concept as well. So you definitely see that like having an emergence in the Black culture. And I think through Hollywood, through music, it's definitely a spirit that it is trying to like grab hold of the Black community, especially the younger Black community, because Christianity had such a hold on the Black community probably stronger than most communities. And
I would say more religion.
Yes.
Or legalism and how they cultural Christianity. I wouldn't even say like actual Christianity. I would say more culturally, culturally Christian.
Yeah. But I mean, to be a culturally Christian foundation is actually a good thing. There's
if you're culturally Christian and without the meaning, then it gets lost real quick, right?
Which is what we've been seeing. Yes.
Yeah, if you don't have the purpose or the meaning, the essence of it, the spirit of it, then you forget why you do the things you do.
Yeah. And then it just becomes that's why, the grandmom's praying for everybody, but nobody really knows why. You know what I mean?
That's why you can get, because I don't know how much of that you watch, and I guess we'll talk about, but
I haven't really, because I wanted to wait till we all talk about it, even though we're kind of getting into it.
Do I need to do some homework?
I came across a lot of.
I don't know nothing about this movie except for I did see the video of the actress, the Black girl. She's talking about hoodoo.
Yeah.
On it, real quick, and I was like, oh, this seems weird. I thought James liked this.
He does.
I was like confused.
He does, but I think I think James likes it more from the standpoint of like it's an original story. I mean, people have compared it to like a Black Dawn of the Dead. I don't I know that there's vampires in it as well.
Oh, there's vampires.
Yeah, but go ahead, Jake. I think you were muted.
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought I saw your lips moving. Yeah. So I think he likes it for the fact that it's like a black movie that is an original like concept, an original piece and story, and like it's not.
Don't get me wrong. I think that guy Ryan Coogler. I think he's very talented. I think he's very.
He is. He's a very gifted director.
But
he's captured by that spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
clearly. I mean, even
Lady Gaga is talented.
Yeah, right.
We
right.
could talk about Black Panther though.
What you mean?
And I
no, I had this conversation with Nana. I think I told y'all. I'm like, Black Panther is the Lion King.
It's the Lion King.
It's redone in a Marvel way.
But Black Panther came out before the Lion King, didn't it?
But that whole story though.
That's not from the
comic is a little different.
Oh, okay. So that I don't know the Black Panther lore in the comics. So the Ryan Coogler version is like a different storyline.
Yeah, I don't think that was in the comics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he took the Lion King.
Yeah, I remember too. Like when I was watching this, it's like, yeah, it's a good movie, but it was like so much behind it. It was like they were like, oh, this is the best movie ever. I'm like, I'm watching. I'm like, it's a Lion King. So I typed in. I went to the internet. I was like, does anybody feel like?
You went on Reddit posts.
Yeah. Does anybody feel like Black Panther is the Lion King?
Yeah.
And lo and behold,
there's a whole bunch of people.
I find like these memes.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's it really looks like the Lion King too. Like the scene where he sees his Mufasa.
Yeah.
Where he sees Mufasa. He
Remember.
It's all purple. He
Yeah.
sees his father or the dead ex Black Panthers or whatever like that. The whole thing with him losing the battle.
Yes.
Killmonger defeats him at first and throws him over the cliff.
Throws him over the cliff, yeah.
And then, the dude M'Baku.
Yeah.
M'Baku was like kind of like the Pumbaa.
Timon and Pumbaa.
Timon and Pumbaa. And Nala came
and found him. Yeah.
And then he came back and defeat
Scar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His family member to get his throne back.
Well,
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
For me, just like I wouldn't support a horror movie or a movie about witchcraft, like The Crab, when The Crab came out. I wouldn't support this movie because the intentionality behind it. That's my thing. Like, what is the intention?
Yeah.
And obviously the spirit of it or the essence of it is to do that such thing, to give people identity in a way that is superficial, in a way that seems deep but is not deep.
Got you.
And that's my issue with it. Like,
would you watch it like when it comes out on streaming for research purposes?
I might watch it to see like what they're doing and what's going on. But I wouldn't let my kids watch it.
Right.
I wouldn't. Like, I don't think anybody should watch it.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, and you also have to watch it with not a heart to like take in that energy and that spirit and like attach yourself to it. And I think that's where a lot of people are being drawn in, is to that energy behind the film.
And I do think when Christians go to the like, it's demonic. Well, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah.
First off, demons.
Yeah,
like, no.
When you watch this movie, demons are jumping on you and they're literally attaching themselves to you.
I mean, and it could be true in a way, but is it evil? Is it demonic? By saying demonic, do you mean evil? Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
I would say that. And And but I do think that we do need to understand why these things are happening, what's going on in culture, what are people doing. That's why I wanted to bring attention to it, just because to see like what's happening. Why are people so enamored by this? Because people, it's funny, people, when it becomes something that you are close to or something that's familiar, you give it a lot more credit and creed than you actually should, right? And that's what we're seeing happen, in my opinion.
Creed, another Michael Coogler movie.
The Creed movies
You
weren't
mean Ryan Coogler?
Ryan Coogler, my bad. Michael Coogler. I mixed up Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. Yeah. So we will. I want to talk about that when James is here, so we can all be in the same room and all like have this discussion, because I feel like it's gonna get to like even that discussion we had about the clothes in church. Like it's gonna get kind of like there. Like we're not gonna agree on everything, so I want to have that discussion in person. But you know, we were talking about the generation not having kids. I want to react to some stuff that I had here. Before we get out of here, we were talking about how this generation is pretty much not going to be able to sustain itself, and you know, the concepts and the chaos that has been brought in. And there was this clip that's going viral. I wanted to play it and get y'all's reaction to it. Ready, Elise? Here we go.
Be attacked by your own species, so I'd rather feel the claw of a bear rake through flesh than a man's hand carving the innocence from this body. At least the only thing a bear can carve from this body is blood.
I'd rather a bear's teeth rip through flesh than a man steal the voice from my body, pry my words from my tongue.
At least the only thing a bear can steal from this body is blood. I'd rather a bear dismember this body unrecognizable than a man destroy my self-image until I only identify with victim. At least the only thing a bear can destroy is your body.
Glad I can't see it.
Did I?
You couldn't see it?
I can't see anything on here.
Oh.
What did I just watch?
I can only see you guys.
Okay. Oh, so we have to be, because, okay, I got you. Because the way we got the screen set up.
Yeah.
The only thing, what did you say? I'd rather have a bear claw my face than have a man tell me that I'm not cute because...
And they weren't.
I think we're dealing with like this theater kid like issue. There's like a whole problem with just theater kids taking over everything.
I don't know. Theater kids were. Well, they weren't.
You said were, right?
Theater kids were different.
This
is like mixed with you know, the left.
Yeah, that's what they've become. Ask her. Yeah, exactly. Like, look at this clip from. So the Democrats were, you know, City Hall. Congress was not in session again for like 2 weeks. They were on break, and they all come back and they decide to do this sit-in on the Capitol Hill or whatever, on the steps. Some other nonsense that had nothing to do with anything to not do their jobs, right? So they're on the steps, and this is what they're doing. You could pull it up now, Lise.
You know the song from the beginning. I will build this world from love.
Dude, theater kids. I'm telling, like, he's got a yarmulke and a, like, what is that? But like a trans, like a LGBT flag around his neck and a Free Palestine sign. It didn't seem like anyone knew the song.
No, they didn't.
But yeah, like it's literally, I'm like getting this theater kid culture that has kind of taken over even our politics.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. It's like very narcissistic mentalities where everyone wants to be the center of attention at all times.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, man.
Well, who was that again?
I don't know. These are all Democrats. Look, Cory Booker there. A bunch of...
I'm embarrassed by Cory Booker.
No.
I really am. It was... It's just every time I see him, I see the time where he was trying to speak Spanish.
Oh yeah, where Beto beat him to it. And Beto was better at it than him.
So mad.
Yeah, he was mad.
Un poquito. El queso. ¿Dónde está el baño, por favor? That's what he sounded like.
Let me show y'all another crazy story about deportation and stuff that was going on a couple days ago. So this is in Colorado, I believe. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
Jonathan, give us some perspective here. 300 law enforcement officers. What brought about this kind of requirement, this kind of need to be here with that show of force?
So this is an underground illegal nightclub, okay? And what was happening inside was significant drug trafficking, prostitution, crimes of violence. We seized a number of guns in there. We had active duty service members who were running security at the club and involved in some of these crimes. And in fact, we had over 100 illegal aliens inside as well, and those over 100 illegal aliens were taken into custody by ICE.
Active duty service members helping as security here. Can you elaborate on that at all?
So it's an ongoing investigation, but we had over a dozen active duty service members in the club tonight, either as patrons or working as armed security.
Active duty service members.
Wow.
Like, we don't know what branch, if National Guard, whatever. Acting as security and patrons in this illegal nightclub that was like an underground club in Colorado with hundreds of illegal immigrants, weapons, sex trafficking going on there. And they did this huge bust like 2 days ago.
Wow. I'd like to read that article.
It's crazy. This is the stuff that's going on right under these mayors, these governors' noses. That's probably been going on.
They know about it.
The entire Biden administration. Yeah, of course they know about it.
Come on.
Of course they know about it. Yeah. 100 illegals arrested, DA sting operation targeting illegal underground nightclub in Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs, that's where we were. Remember, Jake?
Mm-hmm.
That's where we were. And there was a huge like satanic feel of that in that area.
Well, I remember when we were at the hotel, we went to the
Starbucks.
Yeah, we had a Starbucks, and the girl that served me the coffee, she was a Luciferian because I asked her about her tattoos, and she said, "Oh yeah, I'm a Luciferian."
Wow. So it would make sense for MS-13 to be all up through there with an underground nightclub that they're just running.
Underground.
I mean, shout out to Tom Holman and like this new regime in there. They've been making some crazy busts.
We just talked about 100 days of Trump.
Yeah.
Seems like a year or two.
Yep.
It does. It feels like a while.
I mean, it's crazy. I want to show this crazy story too. This guy, he's like went off the grid. He's he kind of like would show his lifestyle off the grid with his family. He totally left like society and went like out in the middle of nowhere in Arizona, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And he made this video on TikTok that is really, really creepy. Check this out.
Well, now I'm recording like right to TikTok because like shit is getting real now. So we're off north of our property a little bit, and we were looking for places that naturally hold water, and we found this like little pond that's like north of an arroyo, and this thing is filled with kids' backpacks.
Like filled with backpacks.
And there's like a mound here And like,
And there's like a bunch of signs
there's more
of like
backpacks.
wildlife activity.
Like if you dig down,
It's like
there's backpacks. There's little kids' backpacks here.
Don't be too loud.
Like, there are kids' fucking backpacks here. I'm armed. But we found a place out in the middle of the desert north of our property that has bones and boots and
bones,
kids' backpacks. Yeah. This is getting really, really weird. You smell that?
What?
Something smells like sweet.
No.
Like it smells like laundry detergent. You smell that? And there's like...
Well, you know it smells that like sweet like that out in places like out here.
So we just hit a point where we found like our 5th backpack or bag after finding that boot. And yeah, we're done. We're going to head back to the property. Going to have to contact somebody about this because one of our neighbors was really, really interested when we found bones on our property. And that guy's been really, really against us having social media. So I think it's... Sorry, we're kind of in shock.
And then he did some updates. I'm going to show him.
Just went down, you guys. But we have definitely hit a roadblock. We've been informed that is not on the road, the old road that was there, that is in fact private property. We've been told if we go on that again, we will be charged with trespassing, and there is currently nobody coming out to look. So that's where we're at right now, and it's really frustrating and disappointing. I'm gonna keep calling people. I'm gonna get a hold of the landowner if I can through the fucking parcel search on the state websites, and yeah. But this has kind of rocked me this morning, you guys. And like, to be real with you, I'm scared. I'm like, we weren't last night. You saw we're all happy-go-lucky and everything's great. Things changed a little bit this morning. I don't have the liberty to really talk about it much. But yeah, I'll keep you updated.
And there's one more. Where is it? This one.
I'm recording like right to TikTok because...
No, not that one. This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have to figure this out, but we just found a bunch of backpacks.
Oh, no, that's the same one. There was another video where he was talking about the bones. Was it this one? Yeah.
They do not think we're wasting anyone's time.
Okay.
All right, just got off the phone with the Cochise County Sheriff's Department. They do not think we're wasting anyone's time. After I described the situation, why we thought it was suspicious with there being a lack of a road, everything is women and children's. There was bones. Yeah, they're definitely like, why would you not be concerned? So we got a hold of the same deputy that was out here before when we found a femur and a lower leg bone that had been sawed in half. Yeah, those of you guys that are like, oh, it's just, you're blowing it out of proportion, it's just a drop. Well, we found a child-sized femur and lower leg bone that had a clean saw off it, next to a pair of little kid's Jordan shoe, a backpack, and some clothes. Like, the sheriff's department was like, oh damn, like this look, yeah. And we still haven't heard back the results from that, so that's a little fishy. But hopefully with this, it's just like you guys are saying, like, that think we're wasting everyone's time, that it's just a drop. The sheriff's department definitely concerned. They're coming. They're gonna look into it. And thank you guys so much for all the kind words and support. Appreciate it. Like I said, we'll keep you guys posted as soon as we hear anything or the sheriff's department comes out. We'll definitely keep everyone posted. Yeah, hopefully it is just a drop. We'll see.
So the thing that is discouraging to me about these type of stories, and if you've done any research into like the occult and like these places like this or these towns where it's known, and Arizona has a lot of those pockets where people will say that there's a lot of like satanic activity, kids go missing, things like that. usually the sheriff departments, the officials, the judges, they're all involved. So you're not going to get anywhere by calling them. You're not going to get anywhere. They're not going to investigate it. They're going to come back with some excuse. But it was just crazy that this guy found that because he went on some private property in the middle of nowhere. And it's creepy, dude.
That's mad creepy. Not too far from it. They look like they walked.
Yeah, they walked.
So it's right by their house.
Yeah.
What do you do? Who do you call?
Yeah, he said he called the sheriff's department.
You don't think that they would be a part of it? Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, the fact that, listen, of course they're going to say, oh, yeah, you should have called us. You called the right place, guys.
Yeah.
Like, this is very suspicious. We're going to look into this, and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw that and I was like, oh, I wanted to show that to you guys. Just,
Wish I could see. I can't see no.
Oh, that's right. You can't see, Jake.
Yeah,
he really did.
I'm listening.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that he showed a little bit of the backpack, but you don't really see, the bones or anything like that. It's just he's doing the face thing.
Yeah.
The FaceTime.
Yeah, and he shows like the dirt and how like the backpacks are kind of like buried in the dirt. Strange.
Pop said the DEA went on to say that the operation with over 300 officers and agents from FBI, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the IRS, U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Divisions, U.S. Postal Police, and local law enforcement also yielded the seizure of firearms and drugs near Academy Boulevard. Where's Academy Boulevard?
I think he's talking about the that underground nightclub story. Yeah.
Dang.
Let's see if I got anything else before we wrap up in my saved stuff for us to react to. TD Jakes is stepping down, Jake. You heard about that?
No, actually.
You didn't hear about that? Yeah,
No.
he's stepping down. I think
You didn't hear about your pastor stepping down?
And he's leaving. He's appointing his daughter as the pastor.
Wasn't he already doing that?
Well, I don't know.
That was already something that was in the works anyway.
It was probably in the works, but he officially announced it a couple days ago. I think it had something to do with his health.
Okay.
Let me see. Anything else? Oh, Trump. They were trying to get on Trump for not wearing a blue suit, at the Pope's funeral. Like, and all the shots were like real tight, so you couldn't see how many people had blue suits on. So annoying. Everyone's been sharing around. Mom shared it with us. Did you see that video of that weirdo trying to claim he's Jesus Christ or whatever? Everyone's like losing their mind, like, oh, it's the Antichrist. Like, yo, he's just some other weirdo cult leader. Like, what is this guy gonna do?
He's like a Shiite sect of Islam.
Yes.
Weird, like inner sect of Islam. It's weird.
But he looks white, which is even more weird.
He's American.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because they're like, oh, this is the new Pope, the Black Pope, the Antichrist. Everyone's posting it up. It's like, come on.
I mean, the stuff he's saying made no sense.
Exactly. Like we're really losing our minds over it. I'll just show a picture of him so we don't gotta listen to his nonsense. This guy. Have you seen this?
No. He looks like Jesus. No, I'm just joking.
He said he's Jesus. He said he is Jesus. Verily and verily, I say to you. Oh, gosh. Yo, everyone was losing their minds. AOC released that looked like she's going to run kind of video.
Really?
Yeah, like it's...
With
I don't know.
OG.
You know they don't announce who their VP is going to be until later, but yeah, looks like she's going to run. She had like some whole video that looked like a campaign video. I mean, man, so much stuff going on. Yeah, that's it. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up there. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you, Jake, for joining us in on this conversation, even though you couldn't be here tonight. It still was a good one, and we'll talk about Sinner when we can, when everybody's in the same room. But we got other stuff that we still need to get to. I have folders of like videos that you've sent me that we still haven't talked about yet.
Yeah, we do.
There's stuff about the Nephilim. There's like the two gay pastors. We got to talk about that.
I vote Nephilim.
A bunch of stuff, yeah.
Ex-gay pastors.
Ex-gay pastor. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's different.
But yeah.
Thank you for clarifying.
Guys, we appreciate you. Lisi, thank you for producing for us all this time that Abuela has been gone. We really appreciate you. And if you guys, yeah. And if you want to support what we do, guys, don't forget, we are completely independent, trying to grow this Pride of the Young Lions. We're trying to get everything, the YouTube growing as much as the other platforms are growing. They've been doing well, man. Another viral video. We're just going to keep moving. So if you want to support what we do, go to Patreon. Our Patreon, the link is in the description, but it's patreon.com/youngliontv, where you can sign up to become a member over there if you want to just be a part of this and help us. We appreciate all of our Patreon supporters. Pop, we appreciate you fully. My mom, Courtney, Emma, Paul, all the Patreon supporters. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. You guys are the reason we can continue to, even have the software every week to do what we do and be able to keep the lights on and stuff like that. If you want to just throw a donation, the Cash App is in the description as well. And don't forget, we have merch on our website, jatan.com/shop, where you can get the hats and T-shirts and all that stuff and just support and, show the world that you're one of the young lions or that you're grateful or whatever it is. But other than that, yeah, thank you guys. We appreciate everybody. We love you. God bless you. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
Young lion, go live, yeah. Young lion, you